subscribers. Go subscribe already. Hit the fucking like button and subscribe before I knock your ass out, man. I ain't fucking with you, man.
UFC Vegas 59, Santos versus Hill in the main event. We also have the Ultimate Fighter finale, which I'll be going over here. I'll be breaking down the main card like usual, guys, providing free picks, leans, and maybe what to avoid as well. Systemsportscapping.com to receive this card and all sports. I'm currently handicapping UFC, PGA, and MLB. September will get busy, very busy. September, October, November, obviously with the NFL, NHL, NBA as well coming back, and the World Cup is in November, which I'll be handicapping as well. Packages over there at the website to receive a structured betting system, just at my personal plays. Only way to beat the books long term is to have a structured betting system. Otherwise, you will not beat the books, and you'll just continue to donate to them. Updated records over there, client comments, resume, etc. System capping on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. It helps me out in the algorithm a lot. The more likes and more comments I get, the further I go up in the algorithm. It is much appreciated. UFC 277 recap. Let's do the recap here. Profitable card for myself and clients. Also a bunch of free winners and leans given out last week to you guys. Hopefully you did tail. We hit our main bet. Full unit, and it was a nice full unit two-teamer, two-fight parlay in this case. Plus 147 on Dober to win the fight, and the Lewis and Russian fighter to go under 1.5 rounds. That hit very easily. Also hit a nice ticket on Pantoja by submission at plus 350. Did have a few misses on fights going the distance. I did take the main event to go the distance, to not go the distance, and it clearly did go the distance with a dominant performance from Nunes. Very impressive fight from Nunes. Also was on Mays by finish. He hurt the Egyptian fighter, but the Egyptian fighter showed a ton of heart to win that fight. But we did our main event, and it hit that nice plus 350 ticket. So clearly a profitable event and card for clients and myself. We continue to do well in the UFC. Quickly go over Nunes and Moreno, the two bigger fights. You know, Nunes, what can I say? She went back to the dungeon, went back to the training that she was more comfortable with, went back to that striking coach, and it showed, right? She looked outstanding in that fight. Hurt, didn't really, I wouldn't say hurt Pena, but knocked her down many times in that fight and just was dominant. And she showed why she is the GOAT and the best to ever do it in the women's MMA. And, you know, Moreno, very impressive. I did like how he mixed it up on the feet. I thought he would maybe go for some more takedowns, but he didn't need to. He didn't need to. He avoided that big right hand from Kai France, and the kicks were added in this game plan, and it showed. I hurt him to the body a few times, and then that one last kick to really hurt him. Very impressive from Moreno. I did give that out as a lean or a play for you guys. Hopefully you did tail Moreno. Just wasn't 100% sure on some of those fights there due to there's some value with the underdogs. But good week. Let's get the weekly update. 76-39 run. All fights, guys. 67% plus 58.5 units in the prop market long term. Continue to beat the books most weeks and grind profit from these books. PGA, another good week, guys. Another good week exposing the books most weeks as well in the PGA. Big prop market last week with a bunch of winners. I think 5-6 different tickets we won. Almost another outright if Tony Finau didn't go crazy again. Last 3 weeks in the outright market, winner, and a second. Doing well there. Long term, I think now in 4 outrights in the last 13-14 events, so doing well there. Plus 79.1 units in the prop market. That's long term, guys. Continue to win here. Lots of research into these fine winners. I had a couple guys reach out to me. How do you, win on a consistent basis in the PGA? Well, of course, we have losing weeks, but it's never huge losses in the weeks. If it is, it's a unit or two. But when we do have wins, it's 3, 4, 5 units in the prop market that we go off and win. And people ask me, it's just a ton of research, guys. I obviously know the sport well. I keep up on it. I know who's playing well. I know certain situations and certain courses that are good for guys. But it's just a ton of research that I do, 1 or 2 days of research before I release the betting card. So it's a lot. It's a lot of research. Not a lot of people do have time for that. I love doing it. I love doing the research. I love finding winners for myself and clients, and we continue to profit. MLB, no changes in the MLB. I'm very low volume in the MLB and won't be betting it currently. Let's look at the NHL reminder here. NHL reminder from this past season, another good NHL year. NBA reminder, another good year in the NBA. NBA reminder here, again, all those come back October, November. And NFL reminder, it's around the corner, guys. NFL's around the corner. And no, I don't bet preseason. I don't have a sucker across my forehead. Future video and preview into this year will be out end of August. So look out for that, guys. Every week I'll be posting videos in the NFL. I'll be joining all the NFL Vegas contests once again at the casino. So looking forward to that with one of my clients, long-term guys. Shout out to Jimmy. Just look out for the video coming soon. I'll go over some future free bets for you guys. Obviously, I'll have a big client card for futures and outright winners. So get on board with that, guys. Last year in the future market, we were unbelievable. We went 10-0, I think, in the futures. We hit Rams outright. So if you want that, get on board, subscribe. Proven winner year after year. Free plays for you guys. This is where you want to make your real money, is when you get on board with me and my personal plays. Let's hear from my friend Meredith before we get into this card.
Guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Guys, like the video. It helps me out a lot. Please and thank you. Shop around for best prices, like I always mention. This is not the best price. Shop around, have multiple books. It helps you to beat the books long term. Helps you profit a little more as well. I can't stress that enough. Main event, Santos plus 240 versus Hill minus 300. Interesting one here. Let's see if Hill can make the next step, right? Can he beat the veteran? Is he the real deal? Is he maybe not too far out from a title shot? We'll find out. Beating a guy like Santos, who's been there and done that, will show a lot, in my opinion, even though Santos isn't in his prime currently, right? Santos has fought, the best of the best guys. Just look at his last 5 fights, and he's 1-4 in them, keep in mind. Jones, Glover, Rakic, Johnny Walker, and Ankalaev. All killers except Walker, in my opinion, who he beat. So it makes sense, right? Hill's coming off back-to-back wins versus Walker and Crute. Lower level competition, in my opinion, but, we can't really compare resumes. However, I like what I see from Hill, right? He will be the much faster fighter here compared to Santos. He has the power similar to Santos. The only question mark is, if Santos prolongs this fight, how will Hill look? Hill hasn't been out of the second round, right? He's finishing fights early. Santos has been in longer fights, right? He just usually doesn't do enough and he loses the fights. He has the one-shot power, as you can see here. Big discrepancy between shots landed per minute, strikes landed per minute. Santos looks for that big shot, big heavy leg kicks, big power, and he could hurt Hill for sure, but Hill's going to be a lot faster in there. So I think Hill should be able to piece up Santos. And if it does get into the third, fourth round, yeah, sure, I favor Santos maybe, but I don't see any cardio concerns with Hill. I don't see any cardio concerns there. I do think the right guy's favorite, minus 300 is very steep. Very steep. I don't feel super comfortable. I won't bet it in a straight bet. If I do bet it, it probably will make a 2-fight parlay for me. But yeah, it's tough to bet Hill at this price. Now, this fight could go all 5, sure, but you probably want to lean the finish. If you want to bet Hill here, you can get that at plus money, I'm sure, if you shop around. So yeah, is this going to make my betting card? Probably not. If it does, it'll probably be Hill in a 2-fight parlay. And, I lean the fight not to go the distance. Just because we see Hill, he gets out there, he looks for the finish in a lot of his fights. And if Santos wins this fight, it's going to be by finish. Right? Santos isn't going to win a decision because of volume. Unless, he carries the fight down 3rd, 4th, 5th round where he's able to grind it out. And I just don't see it. I just don't see Santos winning this fight. Should be Hill at this price. Don't love it, but Hill should find a way to get it done. Luque minus 190 versus Jeff Neal plus 160. Fun one here. Bounce back spot here for Luque after that loss to Bilal Muhammad, which some were surprised about, but he didn't pull the trigger enough. Didn't throw his usual volume that he could get up to. Wasn't able to get the fight to the ground because Bilal does have some good wrestling, and Bilal made him fight his fight. I have Luque better everywhere in this fight, in my opinion. Much better grappler. Even though, he could struggle to get it to the ground. Neal has some good takedown defense. I don't know if Luque is going to be able to get it to the ground. If he does, he has a big advantage on the ground. And I do think he has the advantage in the stand-up as well. It's not a huge difference, but I do think it's close. And, Luque has some power as well in his hands. Neal does as well. But one thing that I give both guys, they are durable. Both of them are durable. Neither one has been finished in the UFC, guys. Keep that in mind. Neither guy has been finished. So I have a hard time seeing there being a finish unless Luque can get to the ground and get a submission. On the feet, I don't see a finish. I don't see a finish on the feet, so I do like this fight to go the distance. And I do think it's just probably more of a kickboxing style fight. People, each guy picking their shots, picking their spots. But yeah, I don't know if Luque can get this to the ground. His takedown game isn't great, and his wrestling is not great either. So if he does, big advantage there with the grappling. Luque has a ton of submissions on his record. It's just, can he get Neal down to the ground? Neal's coming off a nice win. A much-needed win over Ponzinibbio. Good fighter, Ponzinibbio. Neal was able to do enough. It was a close fight, but Neal did enough in that one. Let's see if he can carry some momentum off that win here, right? So, I like Luque. I just do think he's a little bit better everywhere, grappling a lot better. And I do think Luque finds a way and bounces back and just pulls the trigger more. Again, hard to see either guy getting finished here, so I do like this fight to go the distance, and I do think Luque just does enough to get the win here. Ultimate Fighter finale. Yes, Ultimate Fighter finale, guys. I watched Ultimate Fighter episodes, so I am familiar with everyone here. I will go over that. Usman plus 200 versus Poga, however you want to pronounce it, minus 240. Let's not be fooled here, guys. This Usman isn't anywhere close to championship world pound per pound best Kamaru Usman. I watched all of his fights in the house against Usman. I wasn't impressed. 2 decision wins, no power in his hands. He's a big guy, but he doesn't really have power in his hands to knock you out. He seems to win fights due to his grit and toughness over his skill, in my opinion. He throws wild. His striking isn't great. Physical guy. He could get you down to the ground too, but with Poga, I don't see it. I don't see a Poga. I do think he's better everywhere. I think he's very strong, ex-football player, very athletic, will be faster than Usman. I expect him to get the job done here. Don't love the price, especially when it's rookie heavyweights. In this case, it's hard to lay 240, right? Is it a guarantee win? No, because if it's a close fight, they'll probably back Usman because of his name, right? And obviously the promotion off of Usman would be huge. Either way, both guys are going to fight in the UFC. Even if Usman does lose this fight, he's still going to fight in the UFC at some point. I just think Pogba's better everywhere. To be honest, I think he looked great in the fighter's house. So, yeah, I do think he gets the job done here. Do I love minus 240? No. Am I going to bet this fight? Probably not, because I don't think he can finish Usman. I think he probably wins a decision. I would look that way. But I do think he gets the job done, and Usman, his name alone will get him a fight in the UFC, but I don't think it'll be anytime soon. Women's finale, Walker plus 100 versus Miller minus 120. Miller's getting respect in this fight, who has a lot less experience than Walker. And she just shown to be a very tough out and fights tough with a ton of heart. This girl just comes forward. Great grappling. Great grappling. I don't know if she can get Walker down on the ground. That will be interesting because Walker is the better striker. However, Miller, it may not be pretty, but she just comes forward, bangs, tries to get fight down to the ground, and she's relentless. Very tough girl. Very inexperienced, but she could pull off this win here. Obviously, value with Walker at plus 100 due to the experience advantage and the better striker. So if she's able to avoid the takedowns, I think Walker has a good chance to win this fight on the feet, but it's going to be super close. Probably go to a decision as well. Fight goes the distance is something to look at here in this fight. But aside, it's a flip of a coin, guys. I would lean Walker plus 100 due to the value and the price, due to the experience and the better striking. And I do think she can keep the fight on the feet. I did see one fight in the house that she was able to keep the fight standing, and the other girl was a better wrestler. So keep that in mind here. Sakai plus 210 versus Spivak minus 260. Ugly heavyweight fight here, guys. Sakai's coming off 3 losses in a row, which does put up a red flag for me, right? They're probably coming out to fight for their job here. A fighter fighting for his career and job is something I like to avoid or maybe even back. His attributes, mainly, he's a pretty good striker. But he can get taken down, and his wrestling and grappling isn't great, and that's what Spivak does. That's why he's minus 260 in this spot, because he can take fights down. Look at the takedown advantage numbers here. Over 3, right? He takes you to the ground, tries to submit you, tries to ground and pound you. That's what easily could happen here. If obviously Sakai can keep this on the feet and hurt him early, he has a chance to win this fight, but hey, it's hard to get the Spivak at this price at minus 260. This is a fight I tell you to avoid, guys. Mid-tier heavyweights. Sakai fighting for his job and his career in the UFC, in my opinion. 4 in a row. Probably get booted. It is heavyweight, so maybe not. But, 4 in a row, you're going to think he's going to come out. I've seen some training videos. He's working on the takedown defense. So if Spivak struggles to get him to the ground, yeah, Sakai has a chance to win this fight, and there is some value there at 210. I won't be betting this fight due to, I do think Spivak gets it done due to the takedowns, but I won't be betting this fight. Mid-tier heavyweights, no thank you. Another fight I'll probably be avoiding, but I do lean Lipsky. Lipsky minus 170 versus Cachero plus 145. Both girls coming into this fight off a win. Lipsky got a much-needed win after back-to-back losses, but just haven't lived up to the hype so far. Pretty face, great marketing tool, but she just needs to win fights as well. She did get a win in her last fight, very low-level competition, though. The other Brazilian fighter, Cachero, is scrappy, very scrappy, will fight for your money if you put money on her as a dog. She'll just keep coming forward. Just isn't really highly skilled, in my opinion. Lipsky's the more skilled fighter here, stand-up fighter. Her wrestling isn't great, and that's where she struggles. When she fights wrestlers, she struggles. They take her down. But I do think she has some decent stand-up. She does have a submission game as well. She changed camps recently, which I do think will factor here, and do think because of that she'll somehow find a way to pull this off at minus 170. I'm not willing to find out. I lean Lipsky here due to be the more skilled fighter, and the changing camps I do think has helped her. Overall, and I'm just not high on Cachero. Again, scrappy girl, just the skill's not there. So a scrappy girl against Lipsky could be kryptonite for her, but it's not a fight I'm going to be betting, guys. I suggest you avoid as well. I do like some fights on this card. I will have a client card ready. I do like a prelim or two as well, and I will have a card out to clients by Friday after the weigh-ins. Not the greatest card this week, but personal plays I will have some, so get on board if you would like at systemsportscapping.com. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy these fights.